Hey everybody, and welcome to another exciting first round matchup in Alien Wars. Right now, we got T, who's got Superman, flying just like that. We've also got Mackenzie, who has Audrey too, from Little Shop of Horrors.
Something like this, because
Who does something like that,
works.
exactly. Okay, so as per usual, I flipped a coin that none of you saw. None of you saw me do it. T, you're gonna go first.
All right.
Starting right now.
All right, so there's no denying that Superman has had a fairly tumultuous history on film. But we're not here to talk about the Zack Snyders or the Richard Pryors who have admired Superman's cinematic life. We're here to talk about Superman, Kal-El, the alien, the best alien. When we go head-to-head in these movie wars, there's this temptation to, see who would win in a fight, right? But I don't do yellow journalism. I'm not gonna spend my entire argument tearing my opponent down because she did that herself when she picked Audrey 2 for Alien Wars. For the record though, if we were hypothetically going to focus on the fisticuffs, I'd like to point out that we'd be asking if the Man of Steel would win against the potted plant. He grew up on a farm, and I think he'd know how to handle a sassy, wisecracking blood succulent. I mean, Rick Moranis was able to take Audrey 2 out, and he's Rick Moranis. And Clark Kent, he doesn't even need those glasses. Rick Moranis does. Besides, Audrey doesn't even have kryptonite, so that whole fight thing is not even an argument I need to focus on. Regardless of how you may feel about the various iterations of Superman on film, the undeniable fact is that Superman has longevity. Been going to see Superman at the movies for more than 65 years at this point, and that's like 200 years. And that doesn't even include the earlier animated serials that they did back in the 40s, so long time, guys. And it's clear that we as a society are endlessly fascinated by this Superman. Perhaps because he isn't a man at all. He's what we wish man was. He's what we wish we could be. Yet Superman is still relatable. He has weaknesses, and don't we all? Each and every one of us has our own kryptonite. Mine happens to be mayonnaise. I can't even look at it. Seriously, it's gross. And Superman is not only beloved on our shores, he's beloved internationally. He made several $1 million in worldwide sales, regardless of how you feel about Man of Steel. So, it's time to honor a very special alien.
All right, Mackenzie, what do you say for your opening argument? You got 2 minutes, starting right now.
Okay, first of all, even though you said you weren't going to try and tear down Audrey, you tried and you failed. Secondly, you've been going to the movies to see Superman for 65 years. How old are you? Keep going. Okay, so for those of you who aren't familiar with Audrey 2, it is terrifying. And I quote, he is a mean green mother from outer space. From an unknown carnivorous planet, according to a behind-the-scenes interview, Audrey 2 are sent to various planets to destroy them, just to completely destroy them for no reason whatsoever. Yes, Little Shop of Horrors ends on somewhat of a high note, but, well, when Seymour kind of explodes Audrey 2, but, presumably, when all of the plant matter explodes, it spreads seeds and spores and makes even more Audrey 2s that are gonna grow all over the country. That, of course, doesn't stop the millions that have already been sold across the country. Also, in doing research for this debate, I discovered that there was actually an alternate ending to this film, where Seymour and human Audrey are killed, and Audrey 2s are turned into total Godzillas. Oh, I forgot that I had all of these pictures to show you. These are people buying the millions of Audrey 2s that are going to grow all over the country. Look at the Godzilla-ness. You can't see what's happening because these are terrible photos that I screenshotted. Godzilla, Audrey 2, taking over the city right here. Quintessential, the end, done. Anyway, okay, most terrifying thing of it all is how manipulative Audrey 2 can be. In the beginning of the movie, it starts out as a cute little plant. Yeah, it's dark and evil, but it can also be charming and a sweet talker. It basically becomes Seymour's genie, granting him everything he wants. No, he says, would you like a Cadillac car? This is from the song. Would you like a Cadillac car? Would you like a guest shot on Jack Parr? How about a date with Hedy Lamarr? You gonna get it. If you want it, baby, you gonna get it.
Time. So, T.
Yes.
Time to start your rebuttal. She had some visual aids. I noticed all you have is a sweater that says boom.
Inspired by the comics.
Which is, I think, in and of itself, a visual aid.
Sure.
Are you ready for your rebuttal?
Oh, yes.
1 minute, ready to go.
All right, all of your arguments for Audrey being the best alien focused on its assets, which are the worst things about Audrey 2. Everything you listed as a bonus makes the plant super evil and terrible for mankind, which would therefore not make it the best alien. As far as Superman goes, his entire, as the French would say, I think I'm pronouncing this correctly, raison d'etre, is to save us and protect us, whether he's saving us from local farm-to-table evil like Lex Luthor, or intergalactic otherworldly evil like General Zod. I mean, if I'm honest, General Zod probably wouldn't have f***ed with us in the first place if Superman didn't come here, but Superman was like, my bad, and he fixed it. So, and last of all, I want to say that Superman does not have an unquenchable thirst for human flesh, which immediately makes him better than Audrey 2.
The old unquenchable thirst for human flesh argument, every time. I swear, we could get through one of these debates without somebody talking about an unquenchable thirst for human flesh.
That old chestnut.
That old chestnut. Mackenzie, you have 1 minute to respond to that old chestnut.
Just 1 minute?
Starting right now.
Okay, first of all, I think that the issue here is that you've just chosen to go with the who would win, that we're throwing out the who would win in a fight debate. Audrey 2 would obviously win in this fight, and I will tell you why. It's confusing, but I have points. Hold on.
You have 45 seconds.
So, basis of manipulation, Superman he was raised by humans. He is arguably meta-human, so he would easily be able to be influenced by someone like Audrey 2. Audrey came to Earth in the flash of an eclipse. It just appeared out of nowhere, and I would argue that that's magic. As we've learned in Invasion, when he was affected by a voodoo priest, Superman is vulnerable to magic. Also, in Superman 38, we just discovered that he has this new super flare power. Audrey 2 could just manipulate him into using the super flare power, and that super flare power totally makes him lose all of his powers for 24 hours, enough time for Audrey 2 to take over the world.
So we've heard from both of you now. Now it's time for some final arguments. T, get us going.
All right, with regard to the reference you made to Superman losing his power for 24 hours, that is comics only. It's not part of movie canon, therefore it's moot. In any event,
it's new. You don't know if it's coming.
It's not in the movies yet, therefore it's moot. As well, Audrey needs more than 24 hours to take over the world because those things have to survive on blood before they can get big.
But they're already huge.
And by the way, if they ever did become like King Kong
Exhibit
size,
A,
deleted scene,
37.
moot. Another point I would love to make is that Nick Cage even named his son Kal-El to honor his favorite alien. And Nick Cage has never, ever made a bad decision. I mean, even when he bought his pyramid tomb in New Orleans shortly after his well-publicized financial ruin, never made a bad decision. And, unlike Audrey 2, Superman, meta-human, as you say, much like Bishop from Aliens, Superman and Bishop both look like us, and there's something to be said for that. While Superman doesn't look like me, he kind of looks like Clint, and that's good enough.
Audrey 2, everybody buys him because cutest thing ever, I want to hang out with an Audrey 2.
No, they're getting suckered into buying them.
No.
And ultimately for their own ruin.
Exhibit.
Therefore, the worst alien.
No, look how cute. Look at the cute little pictures. I want this in my house.
I think your argument is like best alien for humankind's own destruction. Not only would Superman win in a fight, but he's also here to help and protect us, whereas Audrey here is like an annoying plant who's constantly singing. That's
constantly singing. Superman has a hearing deficiency. He can be destroyed by certain sounds. Audrey sings really annoyingly. Boom. I think ultimately we all just have to decide what we mean by best alien. Audrey 2, super hilarious, totally awesome. I'd like to hang out with him until he tries to eat me. But before that, really cool dude.
Superman may be from another planet, but he's as American as baseball pie.
All right, everybody, down in the comments below, there's one comment that says, like this, if Superman wins. There's another comment that says, like this, if Audrey 2 wins. Get down there and like you some comments, whichever one you think won this debate. Make sure to check out our other debate that's going on right now. It's Groot versus Goku. Go vote for that one as well. And come back next week to see who won. For more movie wars, more aliens. You guys are picking the winners.